Picture this. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. You're scrolling through YouTube or Instagram when another video pops up. How I became a millionaire in 18 months. Or turn $1,000 into $1 million using this simple strategy. For a moment, you stop and think, am I missing something here? After all, you work hard. You earn a respectable income. But every time you check your bank account, it doesn't exactly look like you're on the fast track to becoming wealthy. So it's only natural to wonder, is building real wealth actually achievable? Or is the internet full of people stretching the truth? Here's the reality. Most financial advice online tends to fall into one of two camps. The first is the get-rich-quick crowd. People promoting crypto shortcuts, day trading formulas, drop shipping schemes, and other supposedly easy ways to strike it rich overnight. The second is the opposite extreme, the painfully slow approach. Save diligently, invest consistently for 40 years, and maybe you'll have enough to retire comfortably in your mid-60s. Neither option feels particularly inspiring, but there's something many people overlook. Building meaningful wealth doesn't require 4 decades. At the same time, it isn't going to happen in 6 months either. 5 years, however, is a different story. 5 years is enough time to dramatically improve your financial situation and create real momentum if you focus on the things that truly matter. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a practical roadmap for building wealth over the next 5 years. Not the flashy clickbait version, the approach that's realistic and proven to work. I'm Toby, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about money, investing, and building wealth. If you're trying to improve your financial future, be sure to subscribe and leave a like if you find this video helpful. Now, let's begin with the first uncomfortable truth. Wealth isn't created by saving money alone. Now, that might sound strange because saving is usually the first thing people think about when it comes to building wealth. And while saving is absolutely important, it's only part of the equation. Think of it this way. Relying solely on savings to become wealthy is like trying to fill an entire swimming pool with a teaspoon. You'll make progress, but it will take an incredibly long time. Let me explain. Imagine someone manages to save $300 every month. That's actually a great habit. In fact, many people struggle to save anything at all. Studies have shown that a large percentage of Americans would have difficulty covering a small emergency expense without borrowing money. So setting aside $300 each month puts you ahead of the curve. But let's do the numbers. At $300 per month, you're saving $3,600 per year. Over 5 years, that's $18,000. Even if you invested those savings and earned an average annual return of around 8%, you'd finish with somewhere in the neighborhood of $21,000 to $22,000. That's certainly progress. But for most people, it's not enough to completely transform their financial future. This is where things become interesting. During the first few years of building wealth, the most important factor usually isn't investment returns. It's increasing your income. Many people overlook this. When you're early in your financial journey, your greatest asset isn't the money sitting in your bank account. It's your ability to earn more. Think of your income as the engine that powers everything else. A small engine can only take you so far, regardless of how skilled the driver is. If you want greater speed and performance, you need a more powerful engine. Money works the same way. As your income grows, every financial goal becomes easier to achieve. You can save more without feeling restricted. You can invest larger amounts. You can eliminate debt more quickly. And you gain flexibility that simply isn't possible when income stays stagnant. Consider two different people. The first earns $3,000 per month and consistently saves 10% of their income. That works out to $300 per month in savings. The second person spends the first couple of years focusing on increasing their earning power, learning valuable skills, pursuing promotions, negotiating higher pay, or creating an additional source of income. As a result, their monthly income eventually rises to $5,000. Once their income reaches that level, they continue saving the same 10%. But now, instead of putting away $300 each month, they're saving $500. That extra $200 may not seem dramatic at first, but over 5 years, it adds up to an additional $12,000 in savings. And if their income continues to grow, the gap becomes even more significant. This brings us to the first major step toward building wealth over the next 5 years. Step 1. Increase your income. Now, you might be thinking, if earning more money were that simple, everyone would already be doing it. Fair point. Increasing your income isn't something that happens overnight. But what many people fail to appreciate is how much can change over a 5-year period. 5 years is enough time to develop a high-value skill, transition into a better-paying industry, launch a side business, earn promotions, or negotiate multiple raises. Small improvements, repeated consistently, can dramatically alter your earning potential. Research consistently shows that employees who change jobs often experience meaningful salary increases. Do that more than once over a 5-year period, and your financial picture can look completely different from where you started. But there's an important catch. Higher income alone doesn't guarantee wealth. That leads to the second mistake that holds many people back: lifestyle inflation. This is what happens when every pay raise immediately turns into higher spending. You earn more, so you move into a nicer apartment. You upgrade your car. You start spending more on restaurants, vacations, subscriptions, and everyday conveniences. Before long, your paycheck is larger, but your financial position hasn't improved at all. This is one of the most common reasons people struggle to build wealth despite earning good money. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as hedonic adaptation. In simple terms, humans quickly adjust to improvements in their lifestyle. The new car feels exciting at first. The upgraded apartment feels luxurious. But after a few months, those things become your new normal, and your brain starts searching for the next upgrade. That's exactly why the second step is so important. Step 2. Protect your savings rate. One of the most effective wealth-building habits is making sure that your savings rate grows alongside your income. There's a simple rule that works remarkably well. Whenever your income goes up, make it a rule to save or invest at least half of the increase. For example, if you start earning an extra $1,000 per month, automatically direct $500 toward investments. The remaining $500 is yours to spend however you like. This simple habit helps prevent lifestyle inflation from quietly eating away at your financial progress. Now, let's talk about the investing side of the equation. Once you've built a consistent saving habit, your money needs a purpose. One of the most dependable ways to grow wealth over the long term has been investing in broad market index funds. Take the S&P 500 as an example. Historically, it has delivered average annual returns of around 10% over the past century. While markets naturally rise and fall in the short term, long-term investors have often been rewarded for staying consistent. Let's look at a simple 5-year scenario. Imagine you've increased your income, kept lifestyle inflation under control, and invested $1,000 every month. After 5 years, you would have contributed $60,000. With reasonable market growth, that amount could grow to roughly $70,000 or even more. But here's what many people miss. The biggest benefit isn't what happens during the first 5 years. It's the momentum those years create. Once you've developed strong earning power and a solid investment habit, the following 5 years can become significantly more impactful. I know someone who spent his early 20s constantly worried about money. His savings were minimal, and most of his income disappeared into monthly expenses. Eventually, he committed to focusing on just three things: increasing his income, avoiding lifestyle inflation, investing consistently. Nothing complicated, no speculation, no shortcuts, just steady discipline. 5 years later, he had accumulated more than $80,000 in investments. Even more importantly, his income had doubled, giving him far more capacity to build wealth moving forward. That's how financial success is usually created, not through overnight breakthroughs, but through years of compounding progress. If your goal is to build meaningful wealth over the next 5 years, the roadmap is surprisingly straightforward. First, focus on increasing your earning potential. Your ability to generate income is one of your most valuable financial assets. Second, protect yourself from lifestyle inflation by saving or investing at least half of every raise. Third, consistently invest in long-term assets that have the potential to grow over time. Fourth, stay committed to the process for the entire 5-year period, because the reality is that wealth rarely comes from a single brilliant decision. More often, it's the result of hundreds of smart choices repeated consistently over time. 5 years from now will arrive whether you're prepared or not. The real question is, what will your financial situation look like when it does? Will you still feel trapped in the same cycle? Or will you have built enough momentum to completely change the trajectory of the next decade? Sometimes the difference between struggling financially and building real wealth comes down to choosing a better strategy and giving it enough time to work. If this video gave you a new perspective on money, consider subscribing, and I'd love to hear from you. Where do you want your finances to be 5 years from now? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because the future you're aiming for starts with the decisions you make today.